Greetings and welcome to LGR Oddware, where we take a look at hardware and software that is odd, forgotten, and obsolete. And yeah, we're taking a look at the mouse yoke this time from 1992, a device, plastic, and other things that adapts a normal computer ball mouse and turns it into a flight yoke somehow. Yeah, let's take a look at this weirdness. All right. Well, we've got the Mouse Yoke by Colorado Spectrum. In 1992 is when this was released, and I don't know why, but I really like the name Colorado Spectrum as well as their logo. It's just, it's wonderful. But yeah, 1992 when this came out, and that was for a suggested retail price of $34.95 here in the US. About $79, accounting for inflation as I'm recording this in 2024. Turn your mouse into a realistic aircraft-style yoke from Macintosh, Amiga, IBM, and IBM compatibles, laptops, notebooks, portables. If it's got a mouse that fits in there, then it's probably going to work. And yeah, you can pretty much see what the idea is. You just take your mouse and literally strap it into place, and the rest of this just bolts onto a desk, acting as a flight yoke with mousy appendages. The thrill of realistic flight in seconds. It's as easy as SSPS. Secure, strap, press, and slide. That sounds like a good time. New level of realism for software pilots. I mean, I guess. There were obviously plenty of yokes around. Gameport flight yokes were available throughout the 80s and into the 90s, of course, and they still are, but yeah, they were just from all the usual joystick manufacturers back then, usually around $80 to $100. Of course, with this, it was a fraction of the price for the similar results, probably, supposedly. You'd lose the use of your mouse, but you know. And yeah, despite being a very made in the USA, I mean, it says it all over the place. I mean, the company's named Colorado, for goodness sake. I actually found this in the UK, or from a UK seller on eBay, and I found a good number of ads, actually, from different Amiga and Atari ST magazines and other microcomputer mags in English and French. So I guess it got a passport and got around back then. Now, as for Colorado Spectrum Incorporated themselves, they were founded in 1991 in Fort Collins, Colorado. And I gotta tell you, it is a very annoying thing to search for nowadays. Search engines just want to bring up Spectrum Internet Service in Colorado. But no, Colorado Spectrum just made flight stuff for the most part. Their first product really seems to have been this mouse yoke here. But they also made the mouse wheel before too long, and you know, that makes sense. It's the same thing, but in racing wheel form. But also a couple of other really interesting devices like the Notebook Gameport, which as the name implies allows you to take a laptop or really any computer without a 15-pin game port and use your serial port to get that. And then you have a mouse pass-through. Really interesting device. And they also offered the RCPC, which is a computer interface that you can connect to remote control plane control units to perform tests and diagnostics and things, but also use that control unit as a PC joystick. And then one of the last things that they made, from what I can tell, were screensavers like Feature Presentations Flight in 1994. Perhaps they found software was more lucrative, I don't know. It cost $40 for just that screensaver, $5 more than the mouse yoke here. In terms of how it did in the reviews with the press and whatnot, I mean, overall, pretty well. It was praised for being low cost, as you'd expect, and being a pretty innovative design, as well as using quality materials. There was particular praise for the extruded anodized aluminum. But there were plenty of cons as well, the biggest one being that there was no fire button, really no buttons of any kind, and returning it to center was kind of iffy and is pretty easy to knock the mouse loose, apparently, and there was concerns of the clamp it used scarring your desk, and aerial maneuvers like loops and things were hard to perform, they said. However, that didn't stop it from getting some product tie-in endorsement stuff going on with it. I mean, it's got an official Microsoft Flight Simulator logo right there saying it's compatible with it for MS-DOS and Macintosh, and in fact, it even made it into the official Microsoft Flight Simulator 5.0 strategy guide. right there in black and white. It's like, hey, this is a thing. You can use this if you don't want to shell out for a real yoke. The box does mention some other games by name. I particularly like that LHX is on there, but also Stunts. That's a driving game, so I'll have to try that. It also says virtually any flight or driving sim that utilizes a mouse for directional control. I mean, in theory, it should just work with anything, right? It's a mouse. So we gotta try like a paint program or something. I don't know, Doom? Why not? Anyway, whatever, enough talking about stuff. Let's just get this thing open. I don't think it's ever been used. I've never used it. All right, a bunch of paperwork, and here we go. All tidily packed into this fitted cardboard packaging. We've got shaft. Yeah, there is the mouse yoke, just a, a hollow plastic thingy, and that's it. Yeah, no buttons, no anything, just a kind of a logo and some plastic. And then this is, I guess, kind of the core of it, just where the mouse straps in right there. Nice, again, that wonderful logo and name. Made in USA, extruded aluminum. We have our clamp, and this is one thing that the reviewers were on about, is that this was kind of a harsh edge there. There's no like foam or anything, so it might mess up your desk. And that looks like it just goes in there. All right, this is easy as SSPS, so. Yeah, I also did see that in some of the reviews they were like, it's if you really wanted to pull up and do those aerial moves and whatnot, it's like, oh crap, it just comes right out. There's nothing holding it in there, but it's a pretty lengthy shaft. What is that, 10 inches? Oh, I was spot on. Yeah, I know my shaft length. Let's see here, I got some registration stuff for Colorado Spectrum. Ooh, a free Spectrum mouse yoke or mouse wheel. Or, well, a chance to win one in a monthly drawing. PCs and Amigas, Macs, and Tandys. No mention of an Atari ST, even though it was advertised in ST format. There is, of course, the mouse wheel, just an ad for it. Save $5 if you mail this in with it, up until June 1993. We just missed it. A quick start sheet. Interesting notes separate for Logitech mouse users. Okay, so yeah, adjusting sensitivity, but also turning off the ballistic effect, also known as mouse acceleration. I mean, I don't think it's turned on by default with the regular like Qt mouse or MS mouse drivers that I normally use. I'll check. Congratulations, you've purchased a quality product made in the USA. Oh, over and over and over. Do you know where this was made? Oh, we got some suggested settings here for some of the games, or I guess all the games that were mentioned on the box. I guess these are just popular ones that they tested. And got some troubleshooting tips here. Very important subject matter, like what to do about dirty shafts and balls. And some silliness, always welcome. The garage hasn't been cleaned in a month. You're spending too much time using flight simulation software. Loan your mouse yoke to a friend until you get your garage cleaned. Well, I loaned it to a friend and now I can't get it back. Tell him happy birthday. At this price, you can afford to get yourself a new mouse yoke. All right, well, let's get this set up. Should be simple enough. I will need a mouse though, because I got a Mac 1-button mouse there and just kind of a beigey 2-button thing. Well, let's check out the mouse infestation in the basement and see what I got. All right, what do we got in here? These are all pretty specialty in there. I got more generic selections. Yeah, here we go. Like your standard Microsoft IntelliMouse, or what is that? Mouse Systems something. Oh, is IBM? That's pretty basic. Actually, yeah, this is old Logitech something or other. Standard 2-button serial mouse, perfect. Put a little bit of tape on here just to try to avoid the scuffing issue. I mean, considering the end of that is just pushing up against the bottom of a desk, if it gets scuffed up, I don't care. Make sure my ball bay is cleaned. Seems all right. So this just straps in and okay. Yeah, there's definitely no adjustments to tighten it or anything. It's it's in there. Yeah. Alrighty, well, it's all set up and yeah. it works pretty much how you would expect. It's moving the mouse ball around with a rod up against the bottom of the mouse. That's it. That's what you get. I mean, no complaints in that respect. It does what it promised. Now there is the difference between the X and Y movements. So horizontally, it's very fine movements, whereas opposed to Y here is just extremely sensitive. And that's generally how it is anyway with a mouse. You don't normally notice it so much when you're just using the mouse on its own, but when you're controlling it with a rod sliding this way, it becomes incredibly noticeable. But yeah, I just want to test a paint program here and this is, oh yeah, okay. Hey, there we go. Let's see if I can, whoop, whoop, whoop. Yeah, it's that up and down sensitivity is nuts. Sure, LGR logo. Couldn't ask for any better. All right, so let's get a game open that it specifically mentioned being compatible with. I mean, everything is going to be compatible, of course, that uses a mouse, but you know. Yeah. Guess the mouse is not immediately supported, at least for the menus or this part. So yeah, it is supported in game. So let's just do that. Oh, that's neat. Okay, very, very sensitive. Let's see here. I don't actually know if there's a way to change the sensitivity. Well, there's slow mouse. Let's see what that does. Yeah, that actually, well, there you go. I should never have doubted you, LHX. Oh yeah, it's a little odd because yeah, getting it sort of centered again is, I don't know, this feels weird. It's definitely not an absolute position thing. It's relative to wherever all the components are, but the fact that it's on slow mouse, that definitely helps. So, oh man, I wish I had triggers. I was like, where's the buttons? Should have used Hellfires. There we go. Yeah, it's expectedly awkward for sure because, well, I mean, you know, look at this nonsense. Yeah, getting it centered is just, it's a constant struggle to get it centered back again because, okay, this is exactly center, but this is not exactly centered down here. So, like, now it's pushed all the way forward, except there's still more to go. And now it's pulled all the way back according to the game, but there's still a lot more to go here. Yeah, I don't know. Could probably get used to this, but I immediately don't like it. I also don't like up against here. This is a problem. I just paused it here. This plastic is bumping up against the metal that's clamped down to the desk. Yeah, that is in as far as it will go. It's up against the desk and the clamp and everything it's in there. It physically can't go any farther in at all, but yeah, it's like, it's really up against it there. I can blow up camels just fine. Oh, this isn't great either, dang it. Because of the way that this works, my fingers and everything are bumping right up against here. It's like it needs to stop right about here. But instead it goes all the way in, so. Oh man, yeah, see that? There's not even a finger width of space between the yoke and the desk. So, yeah, if you're all the way in on that, that just sucks. And that's the same, well, similar kind of problem we're getting here with the plastic. It's just, it's not unbearable, but it isn't great. Amusingly, these issues that I'm running into are not mentioned here at all. So let's see how it does with some prop craft. There we are set. to mouse yoke. Taking off from LaGuardia. Let's look there. Parking brake off. Get that throttle going. Okay, and we're already going wherever the yoke wants us to. Whatever. This concrete pad is fine. Oh, good enough. Alright, we are in the air somehow. Haven't crashed. How do we change these views? I'm just curious. Oops, nope. Didn't want to do that. Alright. It's a beautiful day in New York City. Oh, okay. My goodness. The centering, yeah, that is very much a thing. Okay, let's say that right here is centered, alright? Here's going to be my solution. Just gonna pull that out and put that right back. Oh yeah. Yeah, that didn't work at all. Crap. Come on, go forward. I need to really go forward. This is not good. Less throttle. I need to change the flaps. Ah, no! It would help if I had the flaps in the right position, but... Oh, come on. Okay, well, you know. I forgot the planes actually bust apart in this version. Flight Simulator 98 is great. It would definitely help to have some different sensitivity for X and Y. I don't know if you can actually do that. Yeah, we can adjust overall sensitivity, but not individually for X and Y. That is unfortunate. It's the up and down that are insane. Oh, well, that's gonna be that. Yeah, well, you know, this thing is dangerous. All right, so let's try something else. Doom 2. So let's get our wheel in place here. It's like a NASCAR F1 situation. Oh yeah, so we got some mouse selection going on here. Very sensitive. Oh, whoa. Didn't mean to go there already, but... All right, this is wild. How are we gonna... I'll just do that for shoot. Control over there. Yeah, there we go. Well, perhaps I should just use it for the left and right. Talk about driving these demons back to hell. Oh, I kind of want the stupid steering wheel version now. Just because. Oh, well, time to punch. Roar! Kill you with a mouse yoke. Yeah, you guys suck. Well, you know, I suck worse. So let's see, let's try some Unreal Tournament. All right, okay, whoa. You suck. Yes, I do. Okay. Ooh. Oh, no, well, you know. Oh, shoot. Yeah, killed somebody. Okay, I could probably get this a little better if I map shooting over to something else over here. Let's... Well, I really gotta try a driving game after this. Oh, come on now. Hey! It helps that I turned the bot difficulty down like all the way. Ah! Alright, so this did specifically mention, was it stunts? Yeah, let's give that a shot as a driving thing. Wait, how do we do this? What? Right click is accelerate? Fine. Oh yeah. This is pretty good. Immediately, so much better than anything we've tried so far. Oh, lost it there. Again, the centering is a bit of a... Okay, well. All right, so I am centered here, both here and on screen. So I turn this way, that's a full turn. Turn that way, it's a full turn. And returning to center, it just is a full turn again. I do have the acceleration turned off too. I mean, it is just a rubber ball rubbing against this plastic rods, so whatever though. It's not the most important in this game, really. I mean, it would be nice if it centered. This just makes me want to whip out an actual racing wheel and play this. Okay. How did that land and I was okay? I don't know. Lamborghini Countach is made of magic. But yeah, even without the proper centering, this is pretty fun, considering I'm literally just using a regular mouse and a goofy plastic and metal appendage. I do wish this in particular was a racing wheel, because nobody wants to drive with a yoke. Alright, one last thing with Descent 2 running here, just had to test it. What about an optical mouse? Will it work with that? Well, check this out. It actually does, for the most part. The problem is, well, see, now the X and Y, sometimes it just doesn't do anything at all if you move it quickly. Like, you have to do it really fast along the Y-axis, but along the X, like, even just sort of doing that, it doesn't do anything. You have to do it slowly so that it tracks it. Some of that may just be due to, you know, a black kind of shiny finish. Either way, this is still a silly half-baked oddity. Well, that's about it for the Colorado Spectrum mouse yoke. About as straightforward a piece of oddware as it gets. And I gotta admit, sometimes that's my favorite kind. It straight up does what it says on the tin and not a bit more. The type of wildly practical, low-cost solution that I have to appreciate for what it is. Although, yeah, it's obvious there are design flaws. The fact that the yoke pushes all the way up against the base and the desk and collides against things is annoying. And the centering issue is an issue, a huge one really, since a large appeal of a flight yoke instead of a mouse in flight sims is that absolute control. You know, exactly how movements translate in-game so that muscle memory kicks in. That's something that's not possible here, since a mouse has no absolute center. You're meant to move it on the desk, pick it up, move it again once you get to the edge. And plus, there's the extra sensitive Y-axis for controlling pitch. To address that, you really need games like Duke Nukem 3D, or rather its setup program, since it's one that lets you specifically adjust both the X and Y axis of the mouse independently. That's not a common feature. And even then, the Y-axis pitch is still far more sensitive than the X-axis roll. And yes, I also tried pure DOS with TSR mouse drivers and no acceleration enabled. Same issues, you know. Driving games really seem to be the best use case, since the Y-axis is completely ignored, but that relies on the game having support for mouse-controlled steering, something that became pretty scarce beyond like 1994 or so. Whatever, this thing was relatively cheap, and it did what it said, and sometimes an LGR oddware, that's all you can ask for. And if you enjoyed this episode of Oddware, then check out my others, like the Key Stick clip-on joystick, another oddity that tried turning a regular peripheral into a gaming one. Or stay tuned for new stuff, with early access to episodes now available through LGR YouTube memberships. And as always, thanks for watching.